Good morning to the Joe Weil Morning Poem Show. Okay, I'm going to read some poems I recently posted. Not poems, prose pieces I recently posted on my blog space, MySpace blog. This is called The River. I stared at the river for an hour, hoping that it might stare back. But its eyes kept rushing down with the current, and I soon grew bored and went home. When the river was sure the coast was clear, it stilled and gazed up at the trees that had looked upon it for 100 years, never expecting to be seen. All night the river and the trees were in love, and I had only myself to blame for not having rooted myself in something deeper and more lasting than the desire to have my gaze returned. The clouds. One looks like my Uncle Pete after he drank a bottle of vodka and puked into the rose bushes. And another has the exact curve of hip I miss most when thinking about a woman I loved. If I could put my hand there, not even death would matter. If I stroked the curve, something might return rather than my longing. I have read too many books, and I know that longing in the West is the highest good, and longing in the East is the greatest evil. My feet are bare, and the grass is wet. I know also that the oppositions of East and West are beside the point. They end up being no opposition at all. Whether I long or cease to long, the moon will rise over the clothesline. The bats will begin to swoop over the tool shed where they have begun to live. I weep for what I do not have, and what I have makes me weep because I do not want it. Clouds understand nothing. This is to their credit. They are willing to disappear as quickly as they came. This is the great wisdom of clouds, but I am bored with wisdom. O Father Night, let me put my hand on a cloud and stroke it until the woman returns. If not, let my longing be enough. If not, let me cease to long. If not, God, after pretending to listen, falls asleep. Ghosts. Recently, I have been visited by all the flat tires of my past. I wake up holding a lug wrench. One bolt is always rusted tight, and the weather is always terrible. Sooner or later, I will have to let go of the tools and sit down on the roadside and wait for help. If it never arrives, I will starve to death. My flesh will rot and the hair and bones will catch on the tires of 18-wheelers. I think this is no worse a way to die than others. You know you are sad when the deer killed along the highway make you feel envious. The wind riffles their fur. They look peaceful, content. They no longer regret never having made it back to their homes in the forest. The tires float through my room. A smell of burnt rubber pervades. A man haunted by flat tires is not a likely candidate for sainthood or romance. The lovers have also left you beside the road. If only you knew how to leap like a deer and fall into the arms of death. Perhaps the one who wounded you most would drive by and not recognize you, but feel a slight uneasiness and sadness, as if the summer had suddenly disappeared. That would be enough. Even now, the stars above approve of your conjecture. You get the tire off the rim. You pull and with a force fall backward into the past, like a man falling from a cliff, or like a cliff falling from a man. What does a cliff do when it falls? You are about to find out. You have become cliffs, mountains, the swell of tidal waves. It is hard to just be yourself. That is the purpose of dreams. Okay? See you later.